Locally Sourced. I'm Armanda Familetti. Today is our first on-location show at the 47th Annual 4-H Fair here at the Veterans Memorial Park. And I'm so happy that my guest today is Margaret Carey. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Margaret, I'm kind of yelling because there's some background noise here today, but
It's fine.
it's fine. You can be calm and relaxed.
Okay.
So tell me, Margaret, I host Locally Sourced, and
Yes.
you are very into local programming, right? So
Yes.
tell me about what you do for local information.
So what I do is I run Brewster Hamlet Hub. And Hamlet Hub is an online news and networking source. So what we do is all of the wonderful things that our community has to offer, we provide an outlet for them to reach people instantaneously, online only. So we're totally green, and we have expanded this year into New Fairfield, Carmel, and Somers. So we're covering each of those unique municipalities and all the wonderful things they have to offer on Hamlet Hub.
So when you say you're totally green, what do you mean? You
Well,
don't
we're
look green to me.
no newspaper. It's not a print. It's not
Oh.
print media. It's all online. So we're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. And of course, our main site is housed on our website. So if you go to brewsterhamlethub.com, you can find out a whole litany of activities that are running on places. Like you feature in Locally Sourced, we have an outlet for not just the places, but events, politics, life. So say like somebody at the 4-H fair, we featured a young lady who's going to the New York State competition. So we're going to be featuring her on Hamlet Hub. So things like that are how we reach our community. So our communities are going to find out how to sign up for a trunk or treat that's coming up in October, or they can find out about the 4-H fair or the garden club and their event and their plant sale, the Master Gardener's plant sale that's coming up. We support a lot of non-for-profits. The great thing about this whole system is it's free.
Okay.
It's free for the community.
So it's like it's a community calendar, so to speak, but on steroids.
Yes. So, because we actually have what's called Event Hub, which is connected to the 50 other Hamlet Hubs in our in the tri-state area.
Wow, 50.
So if you want to find out what's going on in Ridgefield, you can find our home office is in Ridgefield. You can find out what's going on there too. So if you want to support one of their activities, you can do that. But each of the hubs focuses in on their specific municipality. So you're going to have Brewster is going to talk mostly about
Very
what's
local.
going on in
What's
Brewster.
happening in Brewster, and now that you have one in Carmel,
Right.
Is there going to be sort of
There's
a cross
crossover. So anything about Putnam County is going to be crossed over. So you can find out about things that are going on in Putnam County government. They have a children's expo that comes up in September. We're going to be talking about that. In addition, I volunteer to help support local businesses and local community organizations. As you know, I'm on the board of the Cultural Arts Coalition in Brewster. We recently took over what we're calling the Brewster Fall Festival, which used to be Founders Day, where they shut down the whole street.
Right.
So we're going to be taking over that, and Hamlet Hub is a media sponsor for that.
Terrific.
We're a media sponsor for the Brewster Music Festival. We're a media sponsor for the Patterson Rotary's Blues and Barbecue Festival. So we try to help the community by getting the word out about these fantastic events, which provide free entertainment for the community, that provide an outlet for our children to grow and explore, and for adults to really embrace. We don't want them going outside all the time. We want them to stay in our beautiful Putnam County,
right,
and enjoy what we have. And sometimes, it's hard to find out when things are going on. On a serious note, we also do something. We provide something that our weekly newspapers, who are very valuable, but they can't provide. So, see, we recently had somebody who passed away, and if they passed away and their services are coming up, how do you find out about that? not all of us read the newspaper. Not all of us find out. A lot of us are on social media.
And there aren't always obituaries of everyone who passed in the local papers.
Right. And we do, and, we'll announce that so that this way, okay, I can attend the services that are happening in 2 days. So that's kind of the beauty of, we embrace our addiction to being online in a way, but to help people out so they don't have to go online all the time as far as Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
They can get a nightly newsletter that we send out.
Okay.
And each one has their own.
So is there a subscription that people have to, in order to get their information? Or?
Yeah, they sign up online. So when they go to Brewster Hamlet Hub or Carmel Hamlet Hub, there's a little space that says sign up. Enter your email to sign up for our newsletter. You type your email in, you hit submit, and then every night between 7 and 8 o'clock, you'll get a newsletter, and it'll have all of the events coming up for the area, as well as the articles we publish for the day. Now, I've got so much content that I average about 7 to 10 articles a day.
Well, let me ask you about that, because I've been on your site.
Yes.
And it says, do you want to contribute to Hamlet Hub?
Great question.
So what are you asking when you say that? Can I write like a press release or a little article about an event that my organization had and submit it to Hamlet Hub?
Yes, absolutely. It's local news by locals. I get press releases from organizations. I get press releases from businesses. I get press releases from politicians. But I also have the mom who is so proud of her child that graduated magna cum laude that she writes me an article. We've had a local Brewster woman who served in the Army that graduated, and her mother sent me information about the graduation ceremony that the president was at. She has her picture with the president. I mean, it's amazing.
The president of the United States?
Yeah.
So tell me this: do you publish everything that somebody submits?
That's a very good question. No, I don't. I'm very selective about what I publish. For example, if a politician is getting endorsed by something, they'll send me a press release. I don't publish that. I publish things that are 90% happy news. Okay, so I'm promoting the good things about our community. We do publish letters to the editor, but I try not to skew one way or the other. There's always things going on that get people upset, and that's the venue where you go on a Facebook group and you talk about that. That's not what we do at Hamlet Hub.
Right.
What we try to foster is the positive things. There's a lot. It's very rare when I don't publish something. We also don't publish anything that's overly promotional by a business. We do have partnerships with businesses. Businesses support Hamlet Hub. They advertise on our site. That's
okay. I was going to ask, how do you get your revenue?
Yeah, that's how you kind of balance we're providing it for free for the community, so you can submit. Non-for-profits are free. A resident is free. So we do things like that. But when it's a business, they have to support our site, and that's what we ask them to partner with us. Great. We help them, they help us, and it's great.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and it started in the region, right? Didn't it?
It actually started as a blog by a woman named Carey in Ridgefield, and she won press awards. It evolved from that to Hamlet Hub, and then she ended up receiving press awards from the Connecticut News Service, and she was, she expanded. Then everybody else was like, "Oh, this is great! I want to do this for my community." And that's how it grew to over 50 in a very short amount of time.
Right. Now, are you Hamlet Hub? Do you have any employees? Is there anyone else working there? Maybe your husband, Peter?
Yes, I could not do this by myself. I have my husband, Peter, who is our lead photographer, and he handles a lot of our, like the other day, we had the Brewster Fire Department had their big annual parade, and he was there covering it for us and taking tons of pictures. We post them on Facebook, so you can always go and check out what's going on. I have 4 student reporters. They're interns and high school students that will volunteer their time to do reporting. Some of them are with their school papers. Some of them have interests in journalism.
That is so great.
I have an art correspondent who interviews local artists. I have a theater correspondent who reviews local theater, and there's a lot of local theater in our area. And I also have a college student who is an administrative assistant, and she'll help me post things that get sent in. Every once in a while, I have somebody who says, I'd love to, cover this event that I volunteer at this organization, and they do that. So, but we're always growing, and we're always looking for new people to volunteer their time to help support their community.
And to get in touch with you, they just go online?
They go online to BrewsterHamletHub.com
or CarmelHamletHub.com.
My personal email address is MargaretC@HamletHub.com. They can reach me there. Our About Us page has all our contact information, so they can find out how to reach us there. So it's really something I take great pride in providing for our community. I like to help people, and I like to have that balance of how do I find out about things and how can I help other people find out what's going on.
And I'm sure after the 4-H fair is over, you're going to do a big story about what a great success it was?
Absolutely. We actually were here. My husband Peter was here last night, and he was taking a bunch of photos. We're going to be running around today doing the same type of thing, asking people for their quotes on their events. And we always ask people, if you're running something, if you know something that's going on, let us know. Drop us a note. I'd rather have 10 people tell us, oh, the 4-H fair is going on this weekend, than have no one tell us and we don't know about it. The 4-H fair and the Cornell Cooperative Extension does a fantastic job at promoting, so that would not have been a problem. But for some of the other organizations, it might be. So.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing a great service for the community. Now you're in Brewster, now in Carmel. Who knows, Kent, Cold Spring, who knows what's coming next?
True.
You're a great guest, and I want to thank you very much for being on this on location, locally sourced.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
And thanks to the 4-H Media Club for our partnership. Thank you. Welcome to Locally Sourced. I'm Armanda Familetti. Today we're doing another show, live show from the wonderful 47th Annual 4-H Fair here at the Veterans Memorial Park. And I'm so glad to have a great guest right now. This is Patrick Solerno, who is, I understand, running the 4-H Fair this year. So Patrick, welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here.
So tell us, what is your role at the 4-H Fair?
So this year I'm one of the summer interns. This is my second year coming back as an intern. I kind of upgraded a little bit, and so now I am kind of handling the events production of the fair, so ordering supplies, fair chair kits, pretty much anything on grounds I had a hand in and helping.
So I was kidding. You are kind of running the fair. That's
it
great.
takes a village. It takes a village. Definitely no one person could do it on its own, but I definitely am very happy to play the part that I am.
Now, how long have you been volunteering with the fair?
So this will be my 10th fair.
Yay.
10th fair as a...
And you're 12, so you've been volunteering since you were 2. Is that correct?
No. I'm 19 years old.
19? Wow,
yes.
Okay.
19 years old. So college student coming back, as an alumni and as an intern, trying to do my part to help the fair continue.
Wow, and your whole family is involved with the fair, right?
Yes,
So tell
yes.
us about that.
Well, I'm a triplet, so the three of us have been doing this for most of my memory, so about half our lives. I got my parents, they're both here volunteering. My dad's running the trolley stop, helping moving people back and forth. My mother actually also started working with Cornell Cooperative Extension back in April as an interim worker while one of the others was on medical leave. So technically we have 2 of us working for Cornell right now. Brothers have been involved in it for as long as I have. Robert's doing the music. He's running Shady Grove Tent, handling the bands, making sure that the live music is always on and good.
What would we do without you and your family? It's such a great event. Now I know who to thank.
There's so many wonderful people, and we just love coming back, making it happen. It's a wonderful thing, and this is a real family thing, and our family extends to pretty much all the volunteers that keep coming back.
So a few minutes ago, you were telling me that it's so intensive to prepare for this fair. First of all, it's a full year of preparation.
We pretty much don't stop.
But right as we get close to the last Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the fair, you're here all the time. Tell me
That is
about that.
correct.
You are on site, no going home.
Yes.
You're out in the woods camping. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, that's also correct. My father and I elect to kind of be, along with a couple others, the sort of pseudo groundskeepers of the fair. So making sure everything gets locked up, all the animals are safe, everyone is out on the fairs, and everything is set up for tomorrow. So
Wow.
we get here Thursday morning, we leave Sunday night.
So the animals are on site, and,
Yes.
and there are some very large animals
Oh,
here.
yes. Yes.
There are horses.
Draft
I saw
horses.
huge, I don't know what they were. Were they bulls?
We have oxen.
Oh,
oxen. Yes, we have a couple of
they
oxen.
were so big.
Yes.
And llamas and alpaca and huge horses.
Yes, draft horses. They're wonderful. Yeah.
And they're here from when? Wednesday night through half
Thursday,
of Sunday?
Thursday night through Sunday.
And
So,
it's your
as
job
long
to
as we're
make
here.
sure they're all safe and taken care of.
Yes.
That's a big responsibility.
It's something that I enjoy. You know, it's something that we all enjoy. It's why we keep coming back. You know, there's so much to do and there's so much to see, and we just love kind of doing our part to make sure that that happens. You know, I mean, the animals are great. You know, there's only been probably like 2 cases where the goats have jumped the fence, so we don't
Only
really
2
have to.
cases.
Only 2. So they're usually pretty well behaved, so
Well,
we don't have to worry about that.
I come for the animals, I have to admit, because I don't get to see oxen, you know, like every day, and it's really a thrill to
Oh, yeah.
to be able to, and they're so sweet. You can pet their faces, and
Yeah.
they look at you, and I would recommend just coming to the fair just to
Oh yeah.
see.
You know, a lot
animals
of
in
these, a lot
the
of these
flesh.
animals, they are working with kids because they're either owned by individual 4-Hers and they bring them to the fair for the judging competitions to kind of show off like how they've been able to maintain and care for these animals, or they're part of the clubs. So you know, these animals have a lot of exposure to these kids, and the kids get to learn how to actually take care of living creatures. So it's a great trade-off.
So you've been a member of 4-H, I
Yes.
assume, for a long time.
About 11 years.
Now, tell me, what different activities have you done with 4-H?
Gosh. I always say that 4-H prepared me for college long before I even knew like where I was going. I actually joined 4-H by accident. 11 years ago, we were looking for a dog, and we were going to get a dog, and we wanted to find some way to train it because our dad said, look, if we're going to get this, it's on you guys.
Yeah,
So,
that's what all dads
yes,
say.
that's what they say.
I'm not going to walk it. I'm not going to feed it.
And so we just happened to stumble across the 4-H Dog Club. And from there, you know, I've done youth leadership programs in the county, running youth forums, which is like a topical discussions which we bring in businesses and advocacy groups from all over the county to run programs about teen health, career placement, things like that.
And where are these programs? They're
All around the county, you know.
Oh, okay.
And
You've got
I've done even
libraries or
libraries, schools. You know, anyone can start a 4-H club. You know, you can go to our website.
I
and
can't.
You can come
Can
and
I
join.
start a 4-H
If you're
club?
Yeah, you can start a 4-H club. You know, you can show your interest. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. Come to the office, fill out a bit of paperwork, and we can start getting kids in and learning more things about the community. You know.
yeah, 4-H is great.
Yeah.
I grew up in a city. We didn't have 4-H, but since I've moved out here, I can really
Yeah.
see how
Well,
great it is for this community.
4-H has really grown from its original farm animal roots. You know, the city I know has many different educational 4-H groups now.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was a part.
I'm old.
I was a part of a statewide program that took place at Cornell University, and about half of the kids were actually New York City residents. And they
What?
were all involved in different 4-H clubs, whether it was community service outreach or technology and IT stuff, you know. Even in
Yeah.
Putnam County, we have a media productions club.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Well,
Who are recording us right now.
Yes, we are partnering with the famous 4-H Media Club right now, who do such fantastic work. I know them because of my local show, locally sourced, and we record at Comcast, but those guys are in there all the time.
Yeah.
And you said you were a long-time member.
I was a member. You know, it's wonderful. It's hands-on skills. You know, the media production clubs work with our local Comcast studio, and you learn how to use equipment. You learn how to use their equipment. You learn how to run a booth. You learn how to edit, and you
Well,
can
hold
apply
on, run
these
a
skills.
booth. What
So-
are you talking about, run a booth?
So in addition to having on-stage personalities, there's also backstage people in all capacities on the camera, running the director, switching between cameras, calling shots. You have sound mixers, you have light mixers. So there's a lot of different jobs in film that you can learn about. And the Media Production Club does a great job about teaching you about all of them.
Yeah, it does. I'm just amazed. And not only do they do, well, they do in studio work, but obviously they do out of studio work as well.
They go all around the county.
Have you gone on some remote shoots with the 4-H Media Club?
Gosh, I must have in my
must
10
have.
years. None are coming to my mind particularly right
to
now.
this
Yes, I know in particular Joanne Riccoboni, who runs the Media Productions Club.
Who is that?
Joanne Riccoboni.
Joanne
Yes.
Riccoboni. Okay.
Has been taking the kids all around the county doing the history of Putnam County.
What?
So they've been doing location shoots all around the county, trying to capture all this great history that Putnam County has.
And how do I get to see something like that? That sounds really interesting. I'm really interested in the history of Putnam County.
Yeah. Well, first things first, I would say contact 4-H. Let us know that you're interested. We'll be happy to show you. Check your local access, because I'm sure a lot of those videos will be on local access as well.
All right. Can I go to a YouTube channel and see them, or?
Yes, you can.
If only Joanne Riccoboni were here to tell us.
Yes, you can.
Oh, the answer has come.
They do have a Media Productions channel.
That's true. That's what it's called. So I go to YouTube and I put in 4-H Media Production.
That's about right. Yes.
That's about right. And you know what I'm going to guess? When this is edited, there's going to be like a lower third.
I'm willing to bet that there will be.
With the YouTube address. So we don't
I'm also willing to bet the editor might be right in front of us right now.
The editor, who I understand is fabulous. In fact, her name is Fabian, I think, right? So Fabulous Fabian is going to be doing it.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm a big fan of, first of all, obviously, of public access television, because it allows so many different kinds of people, all ages, to learn how to make television.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful program when you can get that, I know for school projects, just trying to learn, like the skills that I learned when they were, because school nowadays, it's all multimedia. You got to know how to do these things.
Everything is a video.
And it's hard to learn if you don't know how. So having these extra set of skills, it's great in an academic setting, it's great in a practical setting, it's great in a job setting, so.
Yeah. So tell me, let's go back to the 4-H fair.
Yes.
You've been helping in one way or another
for 10 years.
10 years.
Yes. First as a normal volunteer.
What was the craziest thing, other than the goats?
Oh gosh.
What was the craziest thing that's happened during 4-H fairs over 10 years?
I would have to say it's the weather, to be completely honest.
Oh, the weather.
Yes. It can be, this week in particular has been pretty insane.
Man, it is hot sitting here.
It's completely sunny for 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it's a torrential downpour. We had one year, I want to say 4 or 5.
And you've been camping out, so it's been a little wet in your tent.
We have tarps, but still some of it gets through.
It's so humid.
Yeah, I think the craziest weather 4 or 5 years ago, Thursday night.
This Thursday night?
Yes, a few years ago, that
right
Thursday.
Right before the opening.
We had a ginormous storm, and half of the tents were blown out of place.
What time of night was this?
Oh gosh, the storm lasted all night. And so everyone came early, and with the help of the county park staff, our grounds crew, and the volunteers, we were able to set everything back up in 3 hours, and we were able to open on time.
You guys are heroes.
We try our best. I wouldn't go that far, but
4-H volunteers are heroes for our community, along with all the clubs and the 4-H media, and you in particular, Patrick, because you sat here and let me make all kinds of dopey jokes, and you've laughed at all of them, and I really appreciate that.
Volunteerism is a thing that you don't see too much anymore.
Oh no, I see a lot of it in Putnam County.
I think 4-H, Putnam County as a whole, is doing a great job of keeping that spirit alive.
Yes. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. And so you see the difference that it makes when people are willing to have that spirit of volunteerism.
Yeah,
it's so I'm glad that the whole community is willing to do that.
It's one of the best parts of Putnam County, and I just love it. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I have a show, is to get people who do great work out of, labor of love, to come on and tell us about it. And I really appreciate it. And,
of course.
And so does the community, Patrick, and all the other work your family does.
Well, we
and
appreciate
all the
it.
volunteers.
There's so many volunteers, so many families.
How many volunteers work to make the 4-H fair work?
Between 400 and 500 volunteers over the weekend.
Oh
yes.
my God! So are any of the people out there running around not volunteers, or some of them people who actually just came?
Some people just show up. You know, they show up and they say, "How can I help?" And so it's a wonderful thing. You know, there's so many families that come year after year. You know, and so if you're seeing this now, if you're seeing this 6 months from now.
Yes.
We're always the last weekend of July, so
well, hopefully
come on
they'll
by.
show this before the 48th
yes.
annual 4-H fair. And so it's time to wrap up. That went really quickly. I want to thank you so much. You're a pleasure to talk to.
It's been a pleasure.
I could talk to you for days. You're just so interesting. And thanks so much to your family. And thanks to the 4-H Media Club, who's just standing here in the hot, hot weather and putting this show together. So thanks, Joanne Riccoboni, that was her name.
Yes.
And Fabienne Riccoboni. And for everyone watching.